Let's do it. What's going on, guys? Today is Monday and it's time for Move Better Mondays, filmed on Sundays. And today we are continuing on what we spoke about last week when we were talking about how to stop your hip from shifting from side to side. And the real way to do that is really to increase mobility in that hip. So that's gonna be the fastest way for you to start working on that and cleaning that up. Now there's a ton of exercises that we can do on a regular basis that are gonna really allow us to kind of create some mobility and maintain that mobility when we're trying to do our squats. But the first thing we have to remember is that it has to be consistent. So what I like to do with my athletes is give them something that they can do on a consistent basis. Not something that's 20,000 exercises long, because I know there's so many we can do that are gonna be as effective, but really keep it to a couple that I really think are gonna work. And if it works, we stick with them. If it doesn't, we can add and pull in as we like. But the best way to do that is by sticking to a few and being really consistent with them and seeing what happens. Now, hip mobility is not gonna be the only thing that's gonna dictate your ability to squat. There is the other factors that we're coming after, which are activations, but we're gonna get to that next week. But if you can master hip mobility and really try to make it a part of your usual routine, you're gonna start noticing a world of difference, and it's gonna be something great that we can add to that arsenal of kind of warm-up exercises for when we're squatting. And finally, before I show you those exercises, if you haven't clicked like, do that now. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a little comment. Make sure to do that at the end once you finish watching this, and obviously hit subscribe right down there. Let's get to it. So the first exercise we're gonna do is gonna take place on the ground. So you're gonna need to get on the ground and you're gonna get into this figure four position. So from here, the things that I'm gonna be paying attention to are, I want both knees on the ground, both feet on the ground. Some of you may start with either that knee coming off the ground or the other side, or even that foot, the heel not being able to touch the ground. That's okay. We're gonna work into getting all of these to be perfectly flat on the ground. The next thing I want you to pay attention to is where your body is over your hip. Some people may feel, if you lie to the side like this and if I fall off on the back, I'm gonna be basically just releasing any of that hip stretch. It's gonna feel a lot better. But what I wanna do is I wanna try to work through that stretching, that kind of stretch resistance, and really sit over the hips. From here, what we're gonna do is we are going to, I'm gonna rotate to the side so you can see it. I'm basically gonna just prop up and get a nice flat front and get this glute to fire so it pushes me forward, activating that glute and releasing that hip. As I come down, now this is really important, as I come down, I'm not just flopping down. I'm making sure that I'm slowly bringing myself down, and try your best to reduce any complete drop off or any release of that tension. From there, I'm gonna rotate to the other side and do the same thing this way, prop up and go that way, okay? So a lot of us kind of, we neglect the spine as a big integral part of that squat mobility pattern. What we wanna do is we wanna actually make sure that our entire spine is nice and released. So one of the stretches I like to give everyone is a Buddha. Now I learned this from a good friend of mine, and I think it's a great exercise, and it's been in there in my programs and in my mobility workouts for the longest time. So what you're gonna do is stay seated on the ground, you're gonna cross your feet like that, and again, we wanna make sure that the outside of the thighs are stuck to our foot. Now, if you start in this position, it's okay, just try to actively push it down as you're going through the stretch. So from here, I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see what you're looking at. You wanna make sure that your spine is nice and straight and tall and your chin is drawn back. You don't wanna have this drooped position as we're going through the movement. You want nice and tall, and at the same time try to pull. So you're basically trying to pull away from each other. You're trying to pull your legs and your back away from each other. From here, bring the hands up, and all I'm gonna do is just reach up and slide up and come right back down. It's very similar to a wall slide. The only difference is that when we're on the wall, we can really kind of release that core because our weight is resting a bit against the wall. When you're in this position, this Buddha position, what you're doing is that as you're reaching up, your core actually has to engage to keep you kind of pressed over your feet. If not, you're gonna release and try to kind of go to a balanced position here and just allow your weight to kind of rock back and forth. So you're actually gonna create some hip mobility at the same time by actively pushing forward, keeping your core contracted, pulling up and reaching up and coming back down. Now from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a stick. So I'm gonna meet you guys right over there. So now that we've got the hip released and the upper spine released on the ground, we're gonna put those two together and actually try to run through a squat pattern that's not gonna be loaded, but is really gonna start challenging our total body mobility, and that's an overhead deep squat. So what you're gonna need is, you're gonna wanna grab yourself a broomstick or a stick, it doesn't really matter what you grab. It just can't be loaded, it can't be weighted, so it's gotta be fairly light. You should be able to hold it over your head with ease. You can use a plate, and I'm gonna get to that in a bit, and I'll show you what you're gonna use it for. So the overall exercise is essentially gonna be getting the stick behind your head, pressing it over you, and from here, with your feet at a comfortable width apart, you're gonna try to drop as deep as you can into that squat. And from the side, what it's gonna look like is that as I go down, I wanna make sure that my torso and my shin are actually in a nice parallel line, and I'm not kind of diving forward and shooting back or reaching forward like this. I wanna make sure I get that nice symmetry between the two. Now, if you can't get there, that's okay. This is what you're gonna do. You grab yourself a plate. It doesn't have to be this thin. It could be a little bit thicker, and you could start thicker and then work your way down, and you're basically just gonna slap it underneath your heels on the ground. So you're gonna put one on each side, and that's gonna actually allow you to kind of fall into a little bit more favorable position. And then we're gonna work up to dropping that weight off, getting rid of that plate, and actually improving that squat. Now for the technical aspects of this squat, what you wanna do is when you are in the bottom position, you're coming down into that squat position, what you wanna do is actively try to force your arms back while still keeping the ribs down. So it's kind of a ribs down, arms back position, and what you're trying to do is pull them apart and keep your body nice and straight. You're gonna go through that about 5 to 6 times, nice and slowly, so you don't wanna just flop into the bottom position. You're gonna slowly descend and get down. Pairing this mobility routine with next week's activation exercises is gonna show you a ton of difference in your squat. So if you guys can put that together, be very consistent with it, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.